Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Babatunde Akin-Moses, and I'll be taking you through my entrepreneurial journey. And I mean, there are some things I would like you to learn at the end of this session. Hopefully, you get to take it away. One is to understand the reasons for common failures in business. Number two is to appreciate the fact that failure in business is not unexpected, so anybody can fail. We hear it all the time. It doesn't mean that you should work towards failure, but sometimes failure can happen for reasons best known to whatever factor, as you see from my story. And obviously, to learn some of the things that work. So the way I do it in chronological order, right from when I started doing businesses, which really was in secondary school. And I walk you through the entire process of all university, my first job, and all the business I started during those times, so that you see what I did and why a lot of those businesses failed. It just occurred to me that I'm not even capturing everything. So, but these are like the major ones that I would like to speak about, and hopefully, you can learn a thing or two. So let's get into it. So this is me. My name, like I said, is Babatunde Akin-Moses, but most people call me Tunde. And basically, I am currently CEO of Sycamore. Sycamore is a peer-to-peer lending platform that connects lenders to borrowers, and basically we enable SMEs, small businesses, get access to loans. We also have a very interesting product called Loan Friends, and what that product basically does is you can lend or loan money to your friend or your family, and the app makes sure you get that money back. That is why we built the app. I used to work in PwC and KPMG before that. Those are accounting firms. Those are multinational accounting firms. I used to work at Strategy in Pezesha, Nairobi. That is a fintech in Kenya. I have an economics degree. I'm a qualified chartered accountant, and I have an MBA from Lagos Business School, which is where I met my business partners. Right, so I'm always grateful to LBS for that connection. I like to read, write, I watch movies, I like music, I play table tennis. About writing, you could follow me on any social media platform. I'm active on the four major ones: LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I share my thoughts on business, the economy, career projection, career progression, and other relevant things like that. Yeah, and then of course I'm passionate about Nigeria and business. Let me not say I'm anti-jackpot, but I don't plan on leaving the country anytime soon because I see a lot of opportunities in many of the things that are going wrong or are wrong rather. And yeah, that's it for my background. So we can jump straight right into my entrepreneurial journey. And really, my entrepreneurial journey really started from secondary school. One of the earliest things I remember doing was selling noodles, Indomie noodles, right? It's funny, it was very simple. Um, I noticed a lot of people needed noodles to eat, and it wasn't available. I could buy it then at maybe 20 or 30 naira per pack. People were willing to buy it for 50, 60. It was a no-brainer business. I sent, or rather I asked one of our teachers to buy a carton for me. We made almost double the money. I was then, somebody actually told me that um, I'll never forget. The guy said, "Man, I'm really a businessman. That I should not forget him when I become a very successful businessman." And I'm like, at the time, I didn't even plan on. I didn't know anything about business. I had no plans of going into business. I was just doing my thing, right? And yeah, very interesting endeavor. I also tried selling drawing books. Now, these drawing books, an interesting one because what my friends and I did is we basically drew a very nice design, and then we said, this thing is very fine because we used to draw, we used to paint. We said, this drawing is very fine. What if this was, and I think there was a drawing book close by or something like that. And we said, oh, why can't this thing would be a very nice design on the drawing book, that if we could, just gum, or rather staple a lot of clean paper in a landscape and put that drawing on top, it will sell. So we had so we had this nice drawing of maybe a man and a woman in a car, and then we made photocopies, and then we just stapled it, and then that was a drawing book. And then we started walking around towards all the kiosk, asking them if they're going to buy. Obviously, nobody was interested. But I think one or two or three people bought just to encourage us, and yeah, those were the first early signs. So now, why did these two businesses, why did they fail? I mean, this is all in retrospect, with the benefit of hindsight. You can say, oh, maybe I understand, a bit more why they fail. One is for the noodles were actually contraband, right? Which is why nobody had it. And at the time, so it wasn't something that was sustainable. It was against the rules. I can't remember whether I knew or I didn't know, but obviously the game was up when I did find out, and I said, "Am I getting into trouble for just selling noodles, being a businessman?" So yeah, that wasn't scalable. You can't grow an illegal business, which is also a good lesson, right? You might be making money from something now, but if it's not within the confines of the law, then it's not something that you can keep doing continuously. Drawing books, the drawing books were really, like I said, we just drew something. It didn't look like a real drawing book. It was just a nice, very fine design though, but it was on a paper that was photocopied, and it looked a little tacky thinking about it now. And really, I think we even gave up too easily, because if we're not trying to solve a problem. We just we had a fine drawing, and then we saw the opportunity to make it a drawing book, and we gave up too easily. So I mean, as a lot of people laughed at us. We walked around, people didn't seem interested. We're like, I beg, we can't come and kill ourselves," and we just let that go. So we didn't really try too hard, if I'm being fair. We didn't try too hard. But I mean, like I said, in retrospect now, it all seems a bit clearer. Even at the time, I don't even know why we gave up. I think the other two guys were not as interested as I was at the time. Yeah, but yeah. Um, yeah, these are the attempts that I made at university, and I have the reasons for failure on that already. I tried to organize an interdepartmental dance contest. Essentially, when I was in university, I was economics department. I used to dance in secondary school, so I thought that this was going to be a great business opportunity, right? Why don't I? Why don't we, me and some of my friends, we had this group. It was called Climax. We said, there was this movie there. I don't know if you guys know it. It's called You Got Served. Big movie, dance movie back in the day, and the whole idea was we wanted to replicate that, but make it interdepartmental. So we're gonna have accounting versus economics versus mathematics. All the departments. We're gonna have them send representatives, and they're going to have a dance contest. We went back and forth, trying to organize it. And I mean, at the end of the day, when it went to the is it Senate committee or some school committee for approval, they mentioned that they thought dancing was a bit. I felt a bit. It wasn't very very Christian. Like that was the feedback that came. So they're not very very excited about allowing it, and that was a similar. That was a similar fate, for the second one, but different. So in that we said, oh, dance is okay. Dance can sometimes be a bit controversial. So we said, let's do a bicycle contest. So every department would send representatives to ride bicycle. In fact, we even scrapped departments at some point. We said individuals should just come and contest. Um, I think we backpedaled when we saw the cost of the bicycles, right? The cost to rent, I can't even remember, but it was quite a lot, just to rent. And again, we didn't. I don't think we even tried hard enough. We just saw the cost, and everybody just did the amount, and everything sort of fizzled down after a while. The one we ended up doing, we actually organized an interdepartmental basketball game. accounting, economics department, a lot of departments, and that one actually went really well. We had people that signed up, people paid money to enter the competition. We organized it. We had qualifying rounds, we had semi-finals, we had finals. I can't remember my department that won, but that one went okay. I honestly can't remember why I didn't follow it up. I think maybe just schoolwork or whatever reason, right? And we just didn't follow it up for whatever reason, and that sort of just died a natural death. I also sold earphones. There was this popular white earphones. It's neck. They call it neck, right? Now, I don't know, NEC. What happened is I think people were selling it like 1.5, 2000 in school. Now you have to remember this was the time that iPods were a big thing, MP3s were a big thing. The iTouch had just come out, so a lot of people were listening to music, right? And I saw those neck earpieces. They were not as expensive as some high-profile ones, but they were not. They also were not, well, at least in my own opinion, I didn't think they were that cheap. So people were selling 1.5, 1.8, and I don't know how I found out, but I found out that in Lagos Island, or somewhere in Lagos, these earphones were 250, 300 naira. And I just did the math. I said, wow, this is a big opportunity. So I took permission to leave school. I was in Bowen, so you had to take permission. I left school. I took some money, maybe 20,000 naira or something like that, and I bought a lot of earpieces. My mind was, oh, 300 naira, I'm going to sell these things for like 1,000, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5. That was the idea. And I actually sold almost everything. I didn't sell 1, 2, 1, 3. A lot of people apparently had somehow over time had caught on to the fact that these things were not so expensive. So we ended up selling it between 700 naira and maybe 800 naira. But the margin was still quite good, and I sold everything. And I really can't remember why I didn't follow it up. But I know that towards the end it was getting very difficult to sell because the price wasn't good. I was still insisting that I was going to sell for 1,000 or 800. And other people that I want to bring in were already selling for 600, 500, and I didn't price it well, right? And I also didn't keep the money well enough aside to reinvest in the business. So I was tracking it in a notebook. I had a laptop. I should have been using Excel, but I was tracking in a notebook or sell this how much I sold this when I sold it, blah blah blah. And maybe when I calculated everything and I saw the gain, I didn't know where the cash was because I think I wasn't disciplined about really keeping the money, to put back in the business. So that sort of also fizzled out, but also was a good experience in selling. I learned that was my first lesson about pricing and whatnot. And then last but not least, I sold a tour to Ghana. Me and some of my friends, we had a group, we called it G20, right? So we're supposed to be 20 of us, and the G was for Ghana. And the idea was we're going to just go to Ghana after school for like a week after graduation. And it was quite tough to put together, but we actually pulled it off. I think we charged 40 or 50K per head, and about 20 or 25 of us, I can't remember the exact number, went to Ghana by road, which was quite interesting. Very long, difficult trip because some of us didn't have passports. There were there were different things that made it a bit difficult, but it was also very interesting. We had a very good time, and I can even share. I can share some of the I will share some of the pictures after this slide. The thing about the Ghana trip is it was quite stressful. A lot of logistics for travel, people, travel documents, the bus having issues on the way, getting people to a hotel the night before you travel on time, all of that stuff. So I don't think I enjoyed the experience enough to say, oh, I want to go into full time travel tourism. But it was still an exciting experience. And let me show you some of the pictures. So, like I said, the group is G20. We had like 3 different shirt types. The third shirt type is not here. We had this green shirt, G20. We had this khaki tops. This is me here. These are my friends. Some of the people that went together. G20. This is me again. You might know this person, Kiki. This is here again, Kiki. Kiki is quite popular now. She's, if you know, on Instagram. Yeah, we were in Boeing together, and she actually was part of G20 too. So yeah, there's just a little bit of history in pictures. Okay, so we'll continue. NYC. What were some of the things I tried out? During my NYC, tried to start a earphone business, and it was supposed to be different, not just selling this time. If you guys remember, there was Beats, or there is still Beats by Dre, right? And the whole idea was it was really selling. Everybody, all the artists were buying it. So my friend came to me with this idea. Then MI just started blowing. We said, oh, if we could partner with MI to brand some earpiece, we call it. I think then I said we should call it ridiculous or something like that. Um, Whatever I can't even remember why, but yeah, it seemed like an excellent idea at the time, and we're like, no, 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 this we should definitely try this out. I think, okay, yeah, ridiculous was the name of a track on I think illegal music 2. Yes, illegal music too. So we said, oh, if we talk to MI and get him to partner, we're just going to replicate what Beats by Dre did, and make it very fine. Call it ridiculous by MI. We'll share the profits with MI. So we started, trying to look for manufacturers in China or Nigeria who was going to make a lot of, earphones branded, nice design, and all of that. So that's when we learned about what you call contract manufacturing. People wanted us to order a lot before they're going to give us any reasonable price. Nobody was going to send us like 10. And they're like, oh no, we need to order like 5,000 or 10,000, something ridiculous like that. And obviously, we didn't have the money, and we hadn't even told them. So I don't even know how that would have played out. Anyways, that was just a good idea. We did a lot of research, spoke to a lot of people in China and a lot of other Asian countries, trying to see if we could get it off the ground, but we couldn't. We also tried to sell gas metering devices. So, what are gas metering devices? Basically, the idea was, we're staying together, me and two of my friends in NYC, and we noticed we didn't know when the gas was finishing. I don't know how we found out, but maybe online or somewhere we saw a picture of that meter that reads your gas, and we're like, man, this is brilliant. We're going to import plenty. A lot of Nigerians don't have this, they need to have it. If we could import it and sell it, we could make double the price, blah blah blah. A lot of people are going to jump on it. Again, we started looking for who was going to supply a large quantity of these gas meters, and so that we could buy and resell. Still couldn't, I'll share some of the reasons why, that I couldn't fly too. And obviously, well, not obviously, but we also started a music blog. We started a music blog together, me and, again, some of my friends. And along that music blog, we're not even trying to sell ads, we're trying to sell merchandise, because we had partnered with certain people that had t-shirts, caps, you see. And then we were trying to use the traffic on the site to sell those things, because hip hop back then was, a lot of t-shirts, jeans, the sneakers, caps, and all of that stuff. But I mean, everything didn't go as well as planned for the earphones business. For the blog business, actually, we didn't. It was very difficult to sell, because we didn't set up a proper sales and marketing structure or channel. So what happened is, somebody, we didn't even think through the sales. We just put it up. You just go on the site, you call the number, and then the person will tell us the size they want. Then we'll now drive to Unilag, trying to give the person the shirt. Obviously, sometimes the money we even spend on the transport was enough to cover the shirt. We'll be at work, somebody will call that they want shirts. We'll start trying to think about how to get it to this person. We didn't think about it at all. Well, we didn't think about it very well. So it was just super stressful to sell. And we're not even marketing it properly. We just put it on the website and hope that people are going to click. That's not how you do sales. So the earphones business, required a lot more capital than we had. Like I mentioned, and we didn't know how to get funding. So, they're like, you guys need to order like minimum order. There's something they call minimum order quantity, and they wanted us to order a lot. They said they needed like maybe 5,000 or 10,000, something like that. I know that we didn't have the money. We didn't even know where to start getting the money from. the gas issues too similar, right? We didn't just have enough money to bring the minimum order quantity that was required to even place an order at all. So yeah, we didn't have that. Yeah, these are some pictures. This is the name of the blog. It's called Mic Check One Two. We're basically writing music reviews, writing about new songs that are coming out, share download links. Then we're trying to be like not just OK.com. There was this website to Jaguda, Knobs 360 back then. These music blogs were doing really well. I really, I still love music, but then I was crazy. I was fanatic. I even used to rap and stuff. So this is some of the stuff we're selling. Then DJ Jimmy Jad had just released the snapback, and I was very good friends with or I am still very good friends with Marco Martinez. He's the one that designs those snapbacks and even his t-shirt. Boys are not smiling. He designed one for Olumide back then. Olumide used to be rather Olamide used to be in coded tunes with ID Kabasa. There was this I am coded shirt. There was a lot of stuff for this. This is me and DJ Jimmy Jad. We went for the launch of this snapbacks, and this was part of what we're selling on the sites too. So yeah, we were really taking it serious, and I had gone to work that day. I was working in. I was ready. I just finished youth service really, and I was still how do you say I think I just started the new work at KPMG. Just started, so go to work during the day and do music blog and sell merchandise at night. But yeah, um, that also didn't scale. And that business idea. So while I was at KPMG, we had another brilliant idea. When I say we, it's always me and my friends, right? So the idea this time was to start an airport shuttle. So what is an airport shuttle? Basically, we're thinking of a case. Then there was no Uber. We're thinking of a case of right now you need to take a cab or someone else go and drop you in the airport. But if you go to the UK and all these other places, they have a particular bus that just goes to the airport. Now you just know that the airport bus leaves maybe Obalende by 5 p.m. every day. So it's not going anywhere. It's not like it's going to stop. You have to jump bus to go to somewhere, drop at Maryland, drop at Ikeja roundabout, nothing like that. It was just supposed to be from your destination, from a pickup point, straight to the airport. You can stop at different places, but the final destination is the bus stop, and it's supposed to be on time. So the idea was, we're just going to take that whole market away from the cabs, get very nice buses, have a structure, partner with, airlines, airports, whatever. I mean, we went to the airport to see if we could get an office space. I think they told us it was 40 million or 40 million or 25 million a year. And the guy was working at Bicotney. Bicotney is the name of the concessionaire that owns manages Mutala Mohammed too. And he basically said he laughed at us where we're going to get the money, that we're going to fight against the cartel. Basically, was trying to explain that everybody that runs a taxi or transportation service within the airport, that it's a union, and if we try to compete with the union, that we're not going to get anywhere, that they are even going to frustrate us. He said something at the end. He said, if you're really entrepreneurs, you find a way to get it done. But I think that meeting really just sort of killed our spirits. We're just tired. And then I just started my icon exam. So I was just trying to read for my exams too. Anyways, reason it was too expensive to start. I mean, my salary was maybe 100K or what, or maybe less. I don't know. It was about 100K, and somebody was asking for 40 million. I didn't even know where to start from. I mean, now in era of this fundraising and all of that, it looks very possible, because 40M is even less than $100, right? And depending on the exchange rates you use, it's about maybe 60K or so, $60,000. So it's actually really possible. But then it looks so far. It looks so far, and then all the issues about the union that we heard about, that some banks were the ones financing all the airport taxis, and if we did something like this, they're not going to allow us to survive it. So that was part of some of the things that sort of discouraged us. When I went, so from KPMG I moved to PwC, and I started a laundry business, right? Laundry business was the first business that actually was making some decent money. So so one thing I learned from that laundry business is it's easier to do a business that's already demand. Um, we're wearing, suits and ties, suit shirts, and dressing formally in PwC. So I just had to package the service. We had, branded nylon bags, very nice branded boards. It looked a bit touch, so it was relatively easy to just convince all my friends to start using it. And they're like, today we'll support your business. Well, I mean, it wasn't easy. It was easy to get the initial market, but keeping it going was a bit difficult. And primarily because the good thing about this laundry business is it's actually still existing today. But I sold my stake in it because I had gone into partnership with the person that used to do my laundry. I thought the guy was very good, so I said, you know what, I'll do the business. You just do the technical side. Don't worry. But we had very different views on how we wanted to run the business, and that's what made me exit because we had a fight. It was I wanted to leave. It was like I was being too tough on him and stuff. I mean, anyways, that's another long story. But in summary, the we had very different ideas. I wanted us to do a business where everything was going to be online. People were going to order online. They were going to, if you go online, you said, come and launder three shirts, two trousers, and you see your price, you see your invoice, and you can just pay online, right? Then I don't even know if there was a pay stack. But we needed to pay maybe 250K to integrate InterSwitch. I wasn't going to do that. There was these guys we used then. I can't remember their name, but there was, all these payment gateways very difficult to use back then compared to the Flutterwaves and Paystacks of today. Anyways, I sold my stake in that business, so I still made some decent money from that. And this is actually this is the laundry business still existing today. So Pronto, that was the name of the business. This was the promotion we did. Then get up to 50% discount. They're doing direct cleaning, laundry, alteration, repairs, express service, pickup and delivery because we had a bus. So yeah, this is the flyer of Pronto. Yeah, my time is fast spent. I'm trying to move quickly. And then I went to Lagos Business School, and then we started Sycamore. Sycamore is the peer-to-peer lending platform, and Sycamore has done very okay. We've disbursed over $15 million in loans. We have over 30,000 customers and growing very fast. We have almost close to 100 employees already. And these are some of the reasons I personally think we've done well in Sycamore. If you count all those businesses that I've called, there are about 13 of them, right? Sycamore is the 14th business I've tried, and this is the one that is showing very good signs of growth. I didn't want to say, well, we're successful, right? So it's an ongoing journey, but I'm glad that it's growing. So some of the good things I think have made Sycamore do well. We had a very good partner matching, which was the mistake I made with laundry business. Our values are aligned. We focus on our strengths, so everybody did what they are good at, and our values aligned. We had a decent network to get investment, so because all of us have worked. So when I worked in KPMG PwC, even when I did my youth service, which was in Shell, I was meeting people along the way, right? So because I become a manager in PwC, I had managed like 40 people. I'd gone to business school, I'd gotten an MBA, I'm a chartered accountant. At that time, I become mature. So when I went to people and said I needed money to do something big, a lot of people were willing to take more bets, right? So we were able to get investors. We started very small. Even when we got investors, we started from my living room. I'll show you the picture now. We built a sales team. You see, I didn't make the mistake I made with the blog sites where I was the one, picking the phone when I was supposed to be at work. We built a sales team very quickly, and we started selling, and there was good division of labor, selling selling through our website, through our mobile app very efficiently. Um, all the partners had some level of experience in running a business before. Not running a business, but at least working in places. My partners worked at Page, Rent Money. My other partner worked at Leadway Insurance. So we all had experience in seeing how companies are structured. We also tapped into a high demand market. I mean, we do loans. Everybody needs loans. It's something that when you start, if you can get the capital to lend, you always have people asking for loans. And then we're very persistent, and and we've been patient. And honestly, we've also had a lot of good luck. A lot of good luck along the way. This is how we started. This is my living room. Three of us just started the business, only three of us, and then today we are, like I said, we're even much more than this now because this is not a most recent picture, but we've actually grown as a business. My entrepreneurial journey isn't over. There are still so many things I would like to do. I would like to do an escrow service. I can't go into details now because of time, but basically, just to be a middleman that holds payments. So if you want to go and buy a car, for example, instead of you going to the place of seeing the car and then having to look at the car before you pay, you can just pay to an escrow service, and then once the car is transferred, the escrow guy would exchange money. You can read more about it. I also would like to try a supermarket without queues. That's one of the most annoying parts of shopping. So if I can remove queues from a supermarket, that would be fantastic. I also would like to do an interstate cargo air service where instead of delivering things via bus, interstate, you could just go via air. Again, these are all just ideas I would like to try eventually. So yeah, that is it. Thank you very much. I hope you learned a thing or two. I'm just right on time. I exceeded the time by 1 minute, but I hope you've learned something. And this is wishing you all the best in your entrepreneurial journey. And remember, be persistent. Hope for some luck. Be a bit patient and pay your dues. I think I always encourage people to work first. I don't think Sycamore will be doing as well as it's doing now if I didn't work at PwC and KPMG to sort of learn a lot of things about building the sales channel that I told you guys about, having a network that could ask for investment, even going to the Lagos Business School, meeting partners. It all took time, right? So this journey I've summarized this is like a 12, 13-year journey. In fact, more if I go back to secondary school, that's adding like another 4, 5, 6 years. So it's actually taking a while. So be patient. Failure is normal. It's just a rite of passage, right? 13 businesses, 14th one is doing okay. So I wish you all the best in your entrepreneurial pursuits. Thank you very much.